Hey guys, Yankee here, and today I'm going to be doing my fall 2023 comic haul. I have been getting really into comic books lately, and I think all of these I bought in in the last 3 months. I don't think any of them showed up in my last manga haul where I was showing them off. I'm making an effort to start breaking them up more, to one pad out the channel a little bit, um, but also not everybody that cares about manga is going to care about comics and light novels and stuff. So I'm trying to break them up a bit more. Um, so I don't remember if any of these were in a previous haul. I think this is all stuff that I bought in these last few months. So if there's repeats of stuff, I apologize, but let's get to it. Majority of this stuff is DC stuff. When it comes to comics, DC is sort of my preferred thing because I really like superhero stuff, and DC just tends to do like DC aligns with what I enjoy more. But I do have a couple of non-DC things. The first one is Pink Lemonade by Oni Press. This was a, I think, 6-issue limited series about a superhero, Pink Lemonade. This is sort of like a kind of meta book talking about industry stuff, and it's like, okay, here's superheroes and superhero movies and things like that. It was a fun little comic. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Um, but yeah, I don't really have a whole lot to say about it. I like Pink Lemonade's design a whole lot. It's simple, but I enjoyed it a lot. So my other non DC comic I got is Demon Days by Peach Momoko. This is Peach Momoko. She has done a bunch of variant covers. Her doing I want to call it a mini series, but it was a bunch of one shots. I don't know why they released it like that. But her doing a old Japanese take on Marvel characters. I say that it was kind of modern at times too. It was interesting because it starts off in the past, but then I think we're supposed to be in the present, or at least more modern, because you see a standard school uniform that you would see on a character at some point, but also our main character sort of feels a bit older than that, they don't fit in modern time. It's an odd one. It was interesting though. Interior artwork was wonderful. But yeah, Demon Days. And there's another one, I think it's called Demon Wars, which is getting a regular trade paperback release like this soon, or it already has. I don't know. Also, if my camera moves or if I sound far away, it's because my comics are back a bit. I've got a few of them, so I have to move to go grab them. So things might shake. I apologize. Ugh. All right. Next, I've got 2 volumes of the same series. I've only read one of them though. That is The Flash by what is his name? Jeremy Adams. Um, I don't really know much about The Flash. I saw the CW show for a season. I saw, I think, a couple episodes of the 90s show. But when it comes to Wally West The Flash, I don't really have anything to do with him. I never really watched the Justice League cartoon, which I know he's a character on. So I didn't really come to this because I'm a big Wally West fan or a big Flash fan. Jeremy Adams is working on another Flash comic right now, Jay Garrick the Flash, with Jay Garrick's new daughter they introduced in a Stargirl series. And that Stargirl trade, which I don't have yet, but I want to get. And so I also want to get that Jay Garrick book because it seems neat. So I decided, hey, he worked on the regular Flash book for a little while. Let me check it out. So I picked up the first volume. I made my way through all the non-Jeremy Adams stuff at the start, which is half of that trade. And then it was a really noticeable jump in quality for me, where it's all right, the Barry Allen stuff stops, Jeremy Adams gets on, and it's it was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it a lot. So I went and picked up the second volume. I think the third volume is out and the fourth volume is coming out soon. And there's only going to be 5. So I'm probably going to get this whole series. I enjoyed it a lot. Um, and yeah, it's interesting, like learning about and reading about a character you're not familiar with, right? Ugh. Oh god, these are all heavy. All right. Next, we've got three books that kind of go together. Two of them are like directly related because they're like in a line, and then the third one is connected but like a standalone graphic novel. That is Justice League International, Book 1, Born Again. Book 2, Around the World. And then I've got Justice League Corporate Maneuvers. Is that going to stay there? All right. Lighting is terrible. That's a little bit better. I bought these. I bought the first one like a week before it was in like Keith Giffen died, so it was just like a very unfortunate timing on that. I'd been interested in this series for a while. A while back in one of my other hauls, I showed off a Booster Gold book I got and the Blue and Gold book, which was Booster Gold and Blue Beetle. And those are two characters that I was interested in reading about, and I knew that they were in this and played a big role in it. And these trades were kind of expensive, so I just sort of sat around waiting to find cheap copies of them on eBay, which I did. I got one of them for like $20 and the other one for like 16. And then Corporate Maneuvers I got for like 11. So I got all of these pretty cheap off eBay. I've read both volumes of Justice League International, liked it a lot. I'm disappointed that there's not more trades in this line because I don't really like omnis. I don't want to get a big thick hardcover. I don't like hardcovers, and like those are so big that they're kind of unmanageable, uncomfortable to read. So this is sort of where me reading this series stops, unfortunately. But I did have a lot of fun with it. I haven't read Corporate Maneuvers yet, which was it Justice League Quarterly? 4 issues of that, which I have no idea what that is. I don't think there's ever been a quarterly DC book since I've been alive. But yeah, I want to read that. It takes place like a year after where book 2 of Justice League International stops, so I'm going to be sort of out of the loop. But yeah, this was a fun series. I enjoyed it a lot, and hopefully they'll do some other trades of it maybe in the future. But yeah, that series was a lot of fun. Alright, I'm on my final 2 books now, and I think I'm just going to show them off one at a time. They're both in like the same series, but they're kind of heavy, and they probably sit up fine. Let me see. Starman. Thought it was going to fall. It's fine. It just opened a little bit. Starman, Compendium 1. And, Starman, Compendium 2. I don't want them to fall. They're heavy. As you can see up here, I've started to read the first Starman. These are thick. These are like 1,500 pages. So like I was saying about, I don't really like omnibuses because they're kind of hard to read. These are also not easy to read. But you know what? You take what you can get with a series like this, because like there's no way this was going to get released anywhere else. But yeah, I'm reading this. I've only read like 7 issues. But I'm enjoying it a lot. It's different than what I expected. At the bottom here, I don't know if you can read that, featuring characters that inspired the hit show Stargirl on the CW. That's kind of why I got this. Like, I know going into this that this Starman and the Starman on the Stargirl show were different. Sylvester Pemberton was never actually Starman in the comics, so I knew that wasn't, like, I knew that going in. And I also knew going into this that the Shade would be like a significant part. I didn't know how significant and like how like right off the bat he was going to be a main player in this series. But I knew like collected in this were like a couple of the Shade minis, and he was one of my favorite characters on that show. But yeah, I've been enjoying this quite a bit. Again, I've only read like 7 issues. But yeah, I've been enjoying it. The main character is nothing like I expected. Just like when you look at him, he seems kind of like the loud, brash, like I don't play by the rules kind of guy, and he's not quite like that. He's very different, um, and in a good way. And I've really enjoyed this, and I'm looking forward to reading more. Again, I'm reading this now, and I plan on reading as much as I can until I sort of get tired of it and take a break. But as of right now, it's a lot of fun. Um, but yeah, that is it for my comic haul. I bought a lot and I read a lot, and I've been kind of on a DC kick lately, and it's not really stopping. A few minutes ago, I talked about how I got a Booster Gold comic. That was the 2007, 2006. I don't remember what year it was, but that was the 2000s Booster Gold book. And they recently announced that they're going to start releasing thicker trades of that with like 15 issues in it. So I plan on getting that. There's more, like I talked about Stargirl. I want to get some Stargirl stuff. Yeah, I've got a lot of plans for comics and stuff that I want to buy. Um, so expect more comic stuff in the future. Uh, but anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.